All right. We just got done doing the number 5. You'll just have to catch up on that. We divided through by 2, and then we subtracted the W. So this is our final answer. Now we're going on to this one, the number 6. So we're solving for the R. Who knows one of the numbers that we should get rid of first? Trinity, do you know what number we should get rid of first? Yes, no, maybe? I can't hear you. What number should we get rid of? We're solving for the R. Trinity, do you know which number we have to get rid of first? Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of, does anybody have a clue? Which is the worst number over here? You're about to have a test. Nobody knows which number we should get rid of. Okay, it's your grade. You have to get rid of the 1/2. How can I get rid of a 1/2? Yes, sir. Is go ahead and take the reciprocal. Yeah, flip it. So this cancels out. That cancels out. And it's equal to RP. And this one I don't need any longer. 2A is 2A divided by 1 is still 2A. And then we're keeping the R. We want to get rid of the P. This should be easy. What should we do to get rid of the P? Addison? Divide. Because it's a multiplication. Very good, Miss Addison. And that's it. We've isolated the R. So our final answer is R is equal to, I'm just putting it on the other side, is 2A over the P. And that's it. And then we're going to go to the very bottom. We're going to do a couple of those. I think, hint, okay. All righty. All right. In fact, some of these on the bottom are some of the ones I think that might have been on the NWEA. This is just solve for the unknown variable. And if you have a pi value, does anybody know what the value of the pi is? Did you guys learn about pi last year? Was it 3 point something? Yes, sir. 3 point, yeah, close, 3.14. And it actually goes on and on and on. It's actually this fraction here. It's 22 over 7, which is 3. That's 21, 3 and 1/7. And this 1/7, this is the actual pi, but it goes on and on and on if I put it into calculator. And it's like 3.145637298, and it could go all around this room with the numbers, so they just shorten it to 3.14. And it says on this one, circumference is equal to pi times diameter. And all they want you to do is now solve it given that your diameter is 42. So guess what I'm going to exchange this D for? Guys, why are you so talkative today? Huh? Armando, what am I going to put instead of this D? What value does it tell me? 42. So C is equal to, and that is it. Now, if they wanted me to actually solve it, they said leave it in terms of pi. But if they actually wanted me to solve it, it would be equal to 3.14 times 42. But they said just leave it in terms of pi, so that is what we're going to do. So that answer is, the circumference is, and normally you put the number in front, 42 times pi. Then on this one, because you will have on the test, you'll also have, this is called substituting and evaluating. So on the number 14, your formula is the perimeter of a square is 4 times the length of a side. Oh, this is a good one. Now this time they're giving you the perimeter, so you're going to substitute it in. Again, if you have an answer only without any work, there's no credit, so make sure you're getting the work. So 64 is equal to 4 times the side. Who knows how I could solve for the S? I need to get rid of that 4. Is how? Divide. Yeah, we're gonna, because it's a multiplication. Good job. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. And if I take this in half twice, I'll get 64 divided by 4. Half of that is 32. Another half is 16. So one side is 16. And that's it. So now we're using the literal operations to actually get the actual value, given some actual numbers. Then, okay, the number 15 we'll do. And we're almost done. We have one more to do. So 15 is they give you volume is equal to length times width times height. And that's the volume of a rectangular prism. Okay. Length times width times height will tell you how much is inside that. And they say the volume is 75. So I'm going to put it under the volume. They tell me the width is 3, so I'll put it under the width. They tell me the height is 15. I'm sorry, the height is 5. And so we are missing the length, and that's what we're going to be looking for. Okay, so I need to isolate the L. So I need to get rid of the 3 and the 5. Who knows how to get rid of the 3 and the 5 in one step? One step. It starts with a D. KJ, do you know how to get rid of the 3 and the 5? Divide, yeah, because these are being multiplied, so we're going to divide. And by the way, who knows what's 3 times 5? You're 8th graders, you should all know that. 3 times 5 is what? 15. So I can put it 3 times 5 here, but I'm going to put it as 15 here. So this cancels out that cancels out that. The length is equal to, does anybody know what 75 divided by 15 is? Did something happen, people? Did somebody die? This is not like you. 75 divided by 15 is 5. Was that the last one? No. So this is the L is equal to 5. And then the last one on this side, and we're done with this side, is this one. So on this one, it is A is equal to 1/2 base times height. Does anybody know what this formula is? Yeah, it is the area. It's the area of a triangle, base times height divided by 2. Base times height divided by 2. Or half of base times height is a rectangle, or length times width. Half of a rectangle is a triangle. So it's half of a rectangle. That's why they're getting that. And then they give us the area. We leave this half here. They're giving us the height, but they're not giving us the B. So I would get rid of the fraction first. Again, how can you get rid of the fraction of 1/2? Is flip it, yes. Go ahead and flip it, 2/1, 2/1. So this cancels out, and you just have 21 times b. The standard is that you put the number in front. 2 times that is 1, 2, 6. And then opposite of a multiplication is a division. And I think that goes 6. And that is it. So the base is equal to 6, such that if I had that base of 6, the height of 21, and I took base times height, which is 126, divided by 2, I would have an area of 63, which is what we started with. Okay. Again, make sure you have all the work, because that's what I'm going to be looking at. Does anybody else need this? All right. So let's see what you're going to do on the back today. It's going to be simple, simple, simple. So this is going to be your job today. And I'm trying to think. We're solving it for P. I'm going to maybe do... Oh, these are kind of all the same, where all of these variables, they're on the bottom. This one's on the bottom. This one's on the bottom. This one's on the bottom. So I have to figure out how to do this, because I don't know. Okay. So it's going to be the same thing. You're transforming it for that one number. So we'll do maybe a couple of these. Go ahead and write the problem number, write the problem itself. I don't like how they write the Q. I'm going to put my Q like that. And 1 over F. Okay. All right. These are kind of tough. What I need to do on this particular one is I need to combine my fractions. If I had something like 1/2 plus 1/3 is equal to 1F, to even begin solving for that F, I have to get these together. And to do that, I have to have a common denominator. And so I know that common denominator for 2 and 3 is going to be 6. But also, I can just say, okay, this 2, I'm going to multiply it by this denominator. This 3, I'm going to multiply it by this denominator. And so I get, and you don't need to write this down, 5 over 6 plus 2 over 6, 1 over F. So again, then I can go ahead and combine them. Altogether, I've got 5 over 6. Okay, and that's the same principle right here. But since I'm on that, let me just show you, because you might want to do that. Another way that you could do that is if you have really small numbers like this. If you want to combine those, you can cross multiply and go 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 1 is 2, and I'm adding, and then you just go straight across to do this. 2 times 3 is 6. So I still get 5 over 6. I still get my 5 over 6, which is the same thing that I have. So I can do that right here. So here, I can either multiply this one by Q and Q, and this one by P and P, or I can do what I just did and do that cross multiplying. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a fraction here, and I'm going to upwards to the left first. 1 times Q is Q plus P times 1 is P, and then go straight across on the bottom. P times Q is PQ equals 1 over F. Okay. All right, and I'll show you what I'm going to do in just a second. But if I have, let me see, if I have 2 over 4 and 1 over a half, this is kind of important, which I know that's a half and that's a half. But if I flip this whole thing and I make it 4 over 2 and flip this one to 2 over 1, will they still be equal? Yes. 4 divided by 2, they might be different numbers, but it doesn't matter, is 2. 2 divided by 1 is 2, and they're still equal, even if they're different numbers. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Once I have it over one fraction line and one fraction line, I can just flip. So I'm going to flip this, put PQ over Q plus P, and this I'm just going to flip F over 1, because they didn't want to know what 1 over F was. They wanted to know what just F is. And F divided by 1 is just F. So all that to say, this is our answer right here. So which is the best answer? I hope it's there, because I'll feel dumb if it's not. Is it there? Yes, it's this one. So yeah, and you should do the puzzle. It is the letter U. And we might do one more of those on number 9 gets the letter U, because you do want to make sure that this spells out something that makes sense when you do it. Let me see, we'll do, oh, this is a hard one. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. All right, let's do the one like the number 12. Ultimately, I'm going to flip it because the B is on the bottom, but I can't right now because it's not a single fraction. So we've got to go through something similar. So I've got 1 over T equals 1 over A plus 1 over B. And I'm ultimately solving for the B. So this is number 12. Who can tell me if I'm solving for the B, who knows what I should get rid of first? Anybody? Did something happen today, people? Did you get some sad news? No? Everybody's so quiet. Guys, what's on this side that I don't want? I want just the B. Say it again. Yeah, 1 over A. Let's get rid of that. Opposite of a positive 1A is a negative 1A. Is a negative 1A. And I can't combine it with that. So what I've got is 1 over T minus 1 over A. This cancels here. Is equal to 1 over B. Okay. So now this sort of looks like this one that we just did, where we had to get this together. Okay. And we did it by that cross multiplying, and then multiplying across to get your denominator. That gets it into the single fraction. So again, I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. I'm just going to go straight across. So that's TA or AT. And then I'm going to go, you have to go to the left first. So it's 1 times A is A minus T times 1 is T. And it's equal to 1 over B. And very good. Then again, we don't want 1 over B, we want B over 1. So now that it's over one fraction, we can flip the whole thing. And they might have AT first. Normally they have it alphabetically. I'm going to do that. AT over, this I can't switch. I have to put it A minus T. A minus T is equal to B over 1, but I really don't need the 1. So that should be our answer, I hope. And, okay, this is, oh, okay, it is, yeah. Yeah, because we cannot switch that. It has to be this one. It has to be the letter T. All right. And so that 12 gets the letter T. And then I think the last one, so, yeah. Multiply through. Do you know how to get rid of this T on the bottom? I don't want to do too many. I think I'm going to have you guys do some and figure it out. And then when you get stuck, so maybe we'll get you talking or something. All right, so here we go. Let's look at, this looks complicated. 14? 16 looks pretty complicated. So let's do the number 16. So U is equal to the F and we're solving for the P. So this is what we're solving for. And I always want to get rid of, I can't even get into my parentheses until I get rid of the F. So it's an F times, opposite of a times is a what's opposite of multiplication? Division. So divide through by F, divide through by F. Okay. And then I've got U F is equal to P T. I can get rid of the parentheses. Oh, then it's not looking so bad. Oh, okay. All right. Then what do we get rid of next? Can I get rid of the T first or the E? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, and nobody knows? The E. So opposite of a negative E is a positive E. So UF plus E is equal to, that cancels out, is PT. So we want this by itself. So obviously I have to get rid of the T. But this T is being divided. So what's opposite of a division is is what, people? Multiplication. So I'm going to multiply through, and this is on the bottom. I want to multiply it through by on the top. It's like it being T over 1. So on this side, it's like being T over 1. Oh, these are, I thought this was going to be easy, Paige. It's not. So T divided by T is 1. P divided by 1 is P. We've got our P all by itself. But when I look over at my answer, I don't see anything with the parentheses. So what that means is they, again, I'm going to take off this one, is they probably distributed. I can put, can I put this over the whole thing? Yeah. I can put this. Can I put that over everything? I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Yeah, because I can't, oh, this is harder than I thought. Yes. After we finish this, because this is a little tricky here. I can't combine 1/2, okay, plus if I had, for example, 5. I can't just put that over 2. I would have to make this a fraction if I wanted to combine it. So I have to do the same thing with these two. Oh, this is awful. Okay. What's that? Well, I know. I mean, but here I don't have a number. So in other words, I have to get it over the same denominator. So I have to put a 1 under here. And before I do anything with this t, I have got to do that, getting it on the same denominator. So I'm going to have to do that times that. F times 1 is F. And then I've got to do that cross multiplying. So 1 times u is u plus F times E is EF. So I've got to combine it over 1, and then I'm going to multiply it through by t. I'll give you time to process this out. And then the last thing is to distribute. So t times u is tu plus t times ef is TEF over F. And if I don't see that answer, I'm going to feel really bad because then I don't know what to do. Please be there. TU, okay, because it can be switched, plus EFT. EFT, doesn't matter if they're not in the same order. And that is it. So it is this one here. Oh, that one was, that's, I hope the worst one. Okay. So where you see the 16, you're going to put the letter R. These in this column, you've only got 2 more like this, that again, you need to combine your fractions first. Combine your fractions first. Oh no, this one you have to move over. I don't think those should be hard. If it's on the top, I don't think it should be hard. If it's on the bottom, like this one here, you can immediately, to get the S on the top, you can flip both of them. This one here, you're solving for the R. I could make a fraction here and flip both sides to get the R on the top, the 4R. I can flip. That's not so bad. This one, can I flip it right away to get this little tiny E on the top? On all of these, where they're on the bottom, you don't want them on the bottom if that's what you're solving for. You need to flip the whole thing and then see what you have to do from there. Do you see any, tell me any other problem that you want to do, or do you just want to go ahead and start on it? Find a problem that looks hard. Can you guys do it on your own then? You want to try? Which one? 15. Oh, that's a good, oh my goodness. That's a good one. Okay, 15. Okay, I think I know it. Oh. Yeah, that one's pretty awful. That's a good one. All right, so V is equal to Q minus Q R1 R2. Okay. The fact that it's R1, R2 means they're totally different denominators. So everything you do today is you have to make it into one fraction. So to make it into one fraction is I'm going to, I hope I'm doing this right, is I'm going to go ahead and multiply straight across. So on the bottom, I'm going to have R1 times R2. And then I'm going to do that cross multiplying my left side first, which is which order are they having it in? It doesn't, is R2 times Q. R2 times Q. Then I'm doing the right cross multiplying. So it's going to be minus the R1 times Q. Okay. This is hurting my brain. Okay. But does everybody see how I got my common denominator, put that together, cross multiplied, get that number, cross multiplied to get that number. Then I want to solve for my q, so I know that I need to get rid of these two down here. So to get rid of these two on the bottom, I'm going to multiply that on the top. I'm going to go R1, R2 over 1. If I do that on this side, I'm going to do it on this side. You just have to go slow and think of what you need to get rid of. If it's on the bottom, multiply it on the top. R1, R2 over 1. So this R1, R2 cancels out this R1, R2. So we're left with all of this over here divided by 1 is just that same number. So it's R1, R2 times V is equal to R2Q minus R1Q. You won't have one like this on a test. You will not have one like this on a test. And this is like one yesterday that I need to isolate this and this. And so this Q was actually distributed over something like this. This is what it was originally. Okay. It was distributed, Q times R2 is R2Q. R2Q minus Q times R1 is R1 times Q. So we need to get this out. We pull it out and have it look like this. So you put it at the Q and you put R2 minus R1 equals R1, R2, V. Almost done. One more step. I need to get the Q all by itself. Who knows the last step? The last. It's easy. What's happening right here? I need to get rid of this. What's the opposite of a multiplication? Division. So we're going to divide it through R2 minus R1, R2 minus R1. And I think that's it. So our single Q is equal to this. And we'll see if it's there. I'm hoping. And, whoops, this one is the same thing. It doesn't matter. 2 times 3 is the same. 2 times 3 times 4 is the same thing as 4 times 3 times 2. It doesn't matter if they're out of order. But this is correct. It is the letter T. Okay. So, let's go through. Let's see some of the ones that are not like that. I don't want you to have to do ones that are that hard. So we're for sure going to do the number 1, the number 2, the number 3. You can flip it and then finish it. You can flip this one and then finish it. That should be easy. You should know that technique. This one you're solving for the R. It's on the bottom. You should flip both of these and then go ahead and do what you need to do. I think you could do that. This one, you'd flip both of them first. You could do that one. This one's ready to go. You're solving for this V on top, so you need to get rid of that T on the bottom. So you probably need to do something to multiply the whole thing by T. This one is almost ready to go. You're solving for this. I would flip everything and then get rid of your big E. That one you should be able to do. Okay. And I think you should try to do these two, 10 and 11. And I'm not going to worry. Did we do the 12? I'm not going to worry about anything else. Try to get through 1 through 11, and we'll call it a day. Okay, those are not easy. Let me see what time it is.
It's 11:13.
What time did we get out of here?
11:13.
Stop it. We're not, never mind. Is it 11? Really? That took forever. Okay, guys. How about you do 1 through 4? Can you handle that? And we'll do the rest on Monday. 1 through 4. See if you can do those.
Can I go to my library?
Yes.